What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Mike Sieben. In today's video, we're going to be talking with Eric, aka the reselling teacher. We're going to have an awesome giveaway at the end, so make sure you stay all the way to the end of the video where Eric will announce what the giveaway is from this video. If you're an existing Amazon seller, you're going to want to stick around for that. And then as well, do not forget to give this video a big thumbs up. That helps out the YouTube algorithm, helps us get this out to the most amount of people possible. Other than that, let's get into the video, guys. All right. Hi, Eric. How's it going today?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. So a little bit of background. Eric is a former high school teacher from Michigan turned full-time Amazon seller. So he began with selling used books and then moved into the retail arbitrage and online arbitrage space. He currently operates a 3,700 square foot warehouse out of Michigan. And then he also runs a course called the Amazon FBA Insiders. So it's a video course, and it has a private mastermind group associated to it, and it's geared towards new and prospective Amazon sellers to help them get up and running. So great to have you today, Eric. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Awesome. So we're just going to run through a few questions here and get to know you a little bit better.
Sounds good.
So how did you discover Amazon, and what did you first find appealing about it?
I think I first heard a friend of mine posted something on social media, and it was just a link to like a Gary Vaynerchuk video. It was more of like just a motivational video. And I'm just kind of scrolling through my social media feed, and I saw the video, and so I started watching it. And Gary just made some passing comment in the video. If I remember right, the video was about like excuses and, kind of life is short, do what you want to do. And he said something in the video like, I know someone that makes $100,000 a year selling used books on Amazon. He just kind of said it as like a passing comment in this video. And I was just like, wait, what? So it kind of got, so I think I went on YouTube and just started looking at selling books on Amazon or something like that. And just kind of started following the rabbit trail. And my mind was blown. I had no idea at the time, like a lot of people, that a lot of Amazon sales were third party, other people selling stuff on Amazon. So I think I downloaded a scouting app, like a book scouting app, and went to my local Salvation Army or Goodwill and just started scanning books. And I found a book that said it was worth $100. And so I sent it in, and it sold, and it was like I was hooked, man. It was just fun. It started off as a side hustle. It started off as a treasure hunt, modern day, gold mining, treasure hunting, just looking for, things of value, flipping them. And then it kind of grew. I kind of transitioned from books and retail, or in like garage sales. And I would flip stuff from thrift stores, and then transition into shopping retail stores. And then I was still teaching full time. And so I switched to kind of more online arbitrage, where I would get home from school and I would have packages just kind of sitting at the porch waiting for me to process and ship out. So did online arbitrage for a long time, just up until just a few months ago. And then got to a point where the business kind of stalled as far as scaling and growth goes. I could only get to a certain level constantly shopping and constantly looking for deals. And so in January of this year, I made the transition into wholesale, so that I could kind of scale the business and turn it into something, bigger than what I was capable of. I was going to stick with the arbitrage model. So.
Yeah, I think that's actually super common, is people start off in RA or OA and then make the transition as they want to grow and scale into wholesale or private label or, models like that. I actually started doing online arbitrage myself, all in the US market. I'm located in Canada, so I'd buy things from Walmart or Target or places like that, and then send them into FBA and sell them that way. So it's a great way to get started, especially if you have low capital, and pretty common across the market. So,
and it's still, I know people that make I know a guy that makes almost $500,000 a year profit in online arbitrage. There's still big money in it. I wanted to build a business that was independent of me. I wanted to build a business where it wasn't solely focused on me shopping, me looking for deals, me hunting. And so for me, I decided that wholesale for now is part of that. I could see potentially down the road moving into a private label. And I could also see down the road too, still implementing some online arbitrage. There's so many deals out there. It's really, really hard to just pass up when you know, like every day there's like free money just kind of sitting out there. So, but right now I knew I needed to focus. Eventually I want a business that is independent of me, runs separately of me. I'm an overseer. I'm not constantly prepping and processing and shipping and searching and hunting. For me, I knew that I needed to transition into wholesale to do that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So.
Awesome. So how did you know that you wanted to do this over teaching high school, or how did you know that this was a better fit?
When I stumbled into this, I was about 19 or 20 years into my career as a teacher and administrator in public education. And I knew I was ready to be done. Education there's a lot of bureaucracy. There's a lot of red tape and a lot of, people in the government trying to tell you how to do your job. And it had gotten to the point where it just wasn't a fun career anymore. A lot of people think it's kids and parents that drive you out. For me, it was more the system and the government and the people that have never stepped a foot in the classroom trying to tell you how to do your job. And so I had been looking for something. I had applied into the private sector a little bit. I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do. I had started a couple other small businesses, but never really pursued them to the point of full time. And when I stumbled upon this, I don't know what it was, but I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the process. I fell in love with the mistakes. I fell in love with the learning. It was just fun. It was just fun. And I'm 45 years old. This all started when I was in my early 40s. And I don't know if I would call it a midlife crisis, but more of like a midlife awareness that I'm not getting off this ball alive. So if I'm halfway through it, like, let's make the second half better than the first. So my wife and I sat down, crunched some numbers, looked at what I was doing on Amazon part-time and said, can we make it work if I go full-time? And did turn in my letter of resignation at the end of the 2018 school year. And just I've been doing this full-time ever since.
That's great. So yeah, that kind of leads into my next question is how did you know when you were ready to go full-time with it?
For me, I was in a little better position than some people. My wife has a really, really good job. And so we knew that if this thing fell on its face, we weren't going to lose our home and we're going to lose our, lifestyle. We had a pretty good safety net. Not everyone has that luxury. For me, I knew it was time to make a change. Like when I didn't want to dread Mondays anymore. I just did not want to spend the rest of my life dreading Mondays. I wanted to look forward to Mondays. And when I kind of found this, I just found myself wanting to do it. 10 o'clock at night, I wanted to be looking for things. I wanted to be looking for deals. I wanted to be searching Facebook Marketplace, trying to find things that I could buy locally and flip on Amazon or eBay. And so it was just something that I loved doing. And so, for me, it wasn't so much a dollar figure in sales. It was just more of a lifestyle. I wanted my time back. I wanted control over what my days looked like. And I didn't want to dread Mondays anymore. And so I just said, let's just do it. Let's burn the boats. Let's jump off and go full speed ahead and dive right in. And I'm just going to make it work. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like Gary Vaynerchuk says, happiness over everything, right?
Absolutely. And that is so, if there's anybody watching this, like I said, I turned 45 in March. I would sacrifice salary, material possessions, cars, house, all the things in life to, when Sunday night at 9:00, if you're starting to feel that anxiety, if you're starting to feel that dread, if you're starting to feel that, like if I were to do it all over again, I would have left teaching years before that. When it got to be the point where it was drudgery, I would have left in a heartbeat, regardless of if that meant my lifestyle had to go backwards temporarily. It's 100% happiness. That there's no dollar figure. If the school system came up to me today and said, we need you back and we're willing to pay you $500,000 a year, I could not tell them to go away.
Kick rocks.
Yeah, exactly. I could not tell them fast enough. It's just, I don't think there's a dollar figure that I can come up with in my head that I would go like, yeah, I'll go back to that. So once you've experienced that happiness, that freedom, that just owning your own time, like you just can't put a price tag on it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And for me, same thing. Amazon has been the happiness and that driving factor, and exactly the same thing. There's been nights like 1 a.m. and I'm looking through the lists that suppliers send me, and it's like, I would rather be doing this than most other things. And I think that's when you really know that you're onto something, and that's when you discover what you're meant to be doing.
Yep. Yeah, and it's funny, like this building that I'm in, it's an old rundown like hardware store. It stinks like musty. The bathroom's disgusting. Like it's just the tiles. It's just this dingy old building, and I'm like a kid in a candy shop. Like I can't think of anything right now that I'd rather be doing. And that's not to say you can't find that in a 9-to-5 job. Like my wife loves her job. That doesn't mean that there aren't days that suck, but she loves her job. And there are a lot of people that love their job or they do both. But for me, I just got to the point where it was like this, I just wasn't enjoying it anymore. I wasn't having fun anymore. And I just said, life's too short. Let's go for it. Let's do something that I don't want to be one of these guys that looks back and regrets, like, what if I would have taken a risk? So. Yeah,
that's exactly right. All right. So let's switch gears here a little bit and talk some more about your course. So I mentioned in the beginning that you have a course that you run. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
So we just started it. Another Amazon seller and I, basically, there are a lot of, I don't know that I would call it a course. So there are a lot of courses out there, people trying to teach you Amazon stuff. And some of the courses are good. Some of them are really good. Some of them are just, they're just trying to sell you a product. Basically they're just trying to make money on the course. A lot of the information that's out there about Amazon is it's out there somewhere. It's just, you don't necessarily know where it is. And you don't know if, once you find it, you don't know if it's any good or not. You don't know if it's accurate or not. You don't know if it's up to date or not. So Curtis, who's a friend of mine, who's a wholesale seller on Amazon, we decided to come up with this group where it was kind of like, we wanted a one-stop shop Amazon library of basically everything you need to grow, scale, or transition your business from arbitrage to wholesale. So we kind of thought of it as like a library. So anybody that's in the group, and has a question and says like, hey, how do I get ungated in topicals? It's like, oh, go to the library, pull it off the shelf. Here's a video on how you get ungated in topicals. How do I contact suppliers? Oh, here you go. Here's a video on how to contact suppliers. How do I source wholesale accounts? How do I set up a wholesale website? Like all these different questions that are out there on YouTube and Facebook groups and stuff. We kind of wanted to bring them to one spot. You know what I mean? And we also wanted a community of kind of like-minded sellers that could kind of help each other grow and encourage each other. And so, yeah, we started this group. We're calling it the Amazon FBA Insiders. We just launched it officially July 15th. And it's a monthly subscription. People can jump in if they want, if it's beneficial to them, they can stay in. If not, they can jump out. But a lot of the courses that are out there are, there's one course that just came out that's $3,000. Two other courses that I'm familiar with that are $2,000. And I've bought one of those courses when I was transitioning to wholesale. And I found that the information that they're teaching you is, everyone's looking for the secret.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking for the secret. And you get in there and you realize the secret is really hard work. Like it really, that's it. It's, the secret is reaching out to brands, going through their catalogs, finding profitable products, wash, rinse, repeat, buy, ship, sell. Like that's the secret sauce. And so when we found out that was, or when I found out that was the secret sauce, it was like, man, it doesn't, $2,000 for that information. You know, we thought we could do it for a lot cheaper. So our group right now, it's kind of have an introductory launch price of $47 a month. That price is going to go up. We're going to shut it down August 1st and kind of reward the people that took a chance on us early. And then August 1st, we're going to raise the price a little bit. And eventually I could see it settling in somewhere around, you know, $100 a month or something like that. Because the value we're providing in the group already, I mean, it's just, you know, ungating services or, you know, just stuff that people are charging substantial amounts of money for. We're like, here you go. It's on the shelf. Like,
Right.
You know, so kind of a one-stop shop for Amazon sellers. I would say anyone in their Amazon journey would benefit from it, but it's definitely, you would get more out of the course or the group if you were already involved in arbitrage in some capacity, and you'd get really a lot out of it if you were considering that transition into wholesale.
Right. Okay. So is this group going to be aimed more towards the beginners of wholesale, or like people that are later into their career in the seven figures? Where do you see your guys' business being?
Definitely in the people that are just getting into it. It's kind of like, it's, I guess the way I would look at it is like, we kind of jumped in the deep end and we're like, oh, this isn't bad. Like, guys, come here. Like, you know, like, let's show you what we learned. Like, it's not, because I think a lot of people when they transition, because if you watch some of the big name wholesalers, like on Instagram, for example, you've got Larry, Watch Me Amazon, you've got Amazon Lit, you've got the wholesale formula guys. Like, you look at it and you see these massive warehouses and you see these $1 million months and you're like, man, I'll never get to that level. Or you know, all the good accounts are already gone, and we kind of jumped in anyway. And, you know, once we got in there, we're like, it's not so bad. You know what I mean? It's like, there's still a lot of opportunity out there. You just got to look for it. You just got to work for it. And so I think the ideal customer, the ideal person to join our group is that person that's maybe doing arbitrage right now, got to that point where we wanted to scale, but it's hard to, you can scale with RA, you can scale with OA, but it's hard. And so I think that's the most ideal candidate, is somebody that's like, I kind of want to turn this, I want to turn this into a 7-figure a year business. You know, I want to turn this into, you know, $1, $2, $3 million a year in sales.
Right.
If you're already at 7 figures, you've probably figured out most of, you know, I'm sure there'd be some nuggets in there that you'd be like, oh, I didn't know that. Or, you know, I never tried that method of sourcing before. But if you've already figured out how to sell Amazon, you know, 7 figures on Amazon, you're probably doing, you know, you've probably figured out the secret formula.
What you're doing.
It's hard work, and you know what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there is no secret sauce. At the end of the day, it is just contacting hundreds of suppliers, looking through thousands upon thousands of products, finding your gems, and just doing it, right?
Yep.
Going back, go ahead.
There are some things, like I shared a video in the group yesterday. You know, a lot of people don't know what kind of value they can bring to a brand. If they wanted to reach out to a brand and say, hey, I want to sell your product. And a lot of new wholesale sellers, they don't know what value they have. And so I created a video yesterday, and I just showed them, like, this is the value you have. Like, you didn't even realize, but this is what you're capable of doing. And I kind of showed them exactly how I reach out to brands, and I show them their Amazon listings and basically say, like, this is what it looks like now. This is what I'm going to make it look like if you choose to work with me. Here's an example of another brand that I did that with, and we doubled their sales. And so I, you know, just, there are some little things, like, even though the secret is hard work and consistency and efficiency and putting systems in place to just reach out to lots of companies and get through their product catalogs. But there are some little things along the way that you can definitely go like, oh, this makes it a little bit easier. Oh, rather than 1,000 products, here's a way I can narrow it down to 100 products. So there's some things like that I think we, some little things that we've learned along the way that I think are super helpful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And what a personal experience for me. I've been through, one of those one-on-one mentorships. I have purchased one of those larger ticket courses, and the real value out of them is, you get the, the videos and the how-tos and things like that. And you pick up the occasional nugget, which it doesn't take many of those good nuggets for you to justify education cost. Especially if it's a business write-off. But the real value is the community, the ongoing support, talking to other people that have been there, done that, and being the value of being able to go, I don't know what to do here. I'm stuck in this position. This is what's happened, and have someone who's been there and done that and say, oh yeah, it's easy. Just do A, B, and C. And then, having that work for you and get past the things that you're butting your head up against in your business. That is what I found is the biggest value. So if you find an ecosystem that can give you that, it's worth more than, $2,000 ticket or $100 a month or whatever it is. Right.
Yep.
It's just finding the right ecosystem that fits you and your business. So.
Yeah, 100%. And that's exactly when I bought the expensive course that I did. It was the same thing. In fact, the first time around, I passed on it because I knew there's nothing in there that, like, I kept telling myself, Eric, you're looking for the secret. It's not there. You know what the secret is, And I was like, but there could be some little nuggets, some little efficiencies that I didn't know about. And then there were a couple modules that I'm like, I didn't know about this in the wholesale, community. I didn't know that I should expect to ask for discounts and things like that. And so I definitely learned, but yeah, that private group where you can just reach out to, that's what made me eventually pull the trigger, is when I saw I was going to be able to have direct access to people that are at the level that I want to be.
Yeah.
And, for $2,000 or whatever I paid, it was the investment that that's what put me over the edge. The content, I didn't think I was going to get $2,000 worth of content, new information I didn't already know.
Yeah.
But yeah, those relationships, and that's kind of what we're trying to create, but at a much, a much discounted, a
lot more affordable for the newer sellers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Awesome. Well, I think that was a very good summary of what's going on, everything, Eric. So one of the last things how can people find you right now if they want to know more about your course or more about your story?
Yeah. So
what would be the best way?
Instagram is the primary social media platform that I use. And I'm on Instagram it's just the reselling teacher on Instagram. I have two things services that I offer other sellers. I do have an online arbitrage list group for people that do online arbitrage still. If you want to check that out, if you're looking for leads list, that's it's just resellingteacher.com. And then the insiders group, the Amazon FBA insiders, the domain's a little funky because we use ClickFunnels to build our site, and they wouldn't let us use a domain with the word Amazon in it because it's a trademark. So the website is amzninsiders.com, amzninsiders.com. So yeah, check it out. And if it looks like it'd be a fit for it, we'd love to have, your followers give us a shot. And if not, we're always open. And, just Curtis and I both that run the group, we've always been very, even though I left education, I still had a heart of a teacher. And so, I help people every day, like on Instagram and direct messages, just kind of giving out information for free. Not, somebody reached out to me the other day and they're like, hey, what about this? And I'm like, I'm not going to sell you my course. Like, here's the answer. You know what I mean? But yeah, check us out there, Instagram, and then, yeah, if it's looks like it might be a fit for you, sweet. Love to see you in there.
All right. Fantastic. And then for all the viewers that are watching this, I said that there would be a little bit of a giveaway. So Eric has agreed to do a free 15-minute consultation for anyone who's viewing this. And in there, I'm sure you can ask any sort of questions, any comments that you have for him. He can help you out with a specific problem. But then too, you can use it as a way to, see if Amazon Insiders is a good fit for you, or if the online leads list is a good option for you. So you can just reach out to him on Instagram, and I will include his information down below. And you can reach out to him, book your 15-minute call at no charge to you, no obligation whatsoever. So thank you for that, Eric. We appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'm not going to try to sell you anything at all. Like, I enjoy helping people. If you have any questions about getting started on Amazon, if you have any questions about scaling on Amazon, transitioning, I'd be glad to. I'm not going to try to pitch any products to you. So yeah, hop on Instagram, give me a follow, shoot me a DM, and we'll get on a call and see if I can. I always preface this by anytime I help people by saying, like, I don't have all the answers. Far from a guru, far from an expert, but I've done it long enough, and I've made a lot of mistakes that I've. I look at it as like a marathon. I might be on mile 7, but I can help you figure out the obstacles that I've crossed in those first 7 miles. I'm not on mile 26. I'm not on mile 15, but I can look back and say, hey, there's a pothole at mile 3. Hey, there's a hill at mile 5. So that's kind of my mentality. I'll help you with everything that I have learned up to this point. So.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time today, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate you having me on.
All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned a lot from Eric, and I hope that you guys can find value in the services that he offers and motivation in his story. I personally think it's a pretty cool story. So other than that, I hope that you guys really take advantage of this giveaway. I will have all of the information down in the comment section below. And then without anything else, I just ask that you give this a big thumbs up. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell. That helps us out immensely at this channel. Let's grow this channel and be able to help the most amount of FBA sellers as possible. Other than that, guys, I hope that you have a fantastic day and take care.